Exodus 34:29. Moses' face shines from God's glory. Jesus' transfigured face outshines even Moses. Matthew 17:2. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai, the people were terrified, not by thunder, not by fire, but by his face. His skin shone, radiant, glowing with the glory of God. He didn't even realize it. Exodus 34:29 says, Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. He had stood in the presence of the Almighty, and the reflection was too much for mere mortals to behold. But as glorious as that moment was, Jesus Christ outshined it all. Let that settle in. Moses' face reflected glory. Jesus radiates it from within. Matthew 17:2 reveals this truth at the Mount of Transfiguration. It says, "And Jesus was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light." Not a reflection, not borrowed light, not a second-hand glow. Jesus became light. Now to all skeptics, imams, priests, and modern pastors who claim Jesus is just a man, how do you explain this? Can a man stand on a mountain and suddenly shine like the sun? Can a prophet transform before witnesses, his face blazing, his clothes turning to divine light, and heaven itself responding with a voice declaring, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased"? If Moses' glow terrified Israel, what should we say about the one whose brightness doesn't fade, whose light is not a borrowed reflection, but the original glory of God? You say, Jesus is like Moses? Then why did Moses vanish at the Transfiguration and only Jesus remained? Look at the scene. Moses and Elijah appear, but only momentarily. They vanish, and the voice from heaven doesn't say, "Listen to Moses," or "Obey Elijah." It says, "Hear ye him." Jesus, the center, the source, the fulfillment. To the pastor who says Jesus is just the best example of a holy man, why then does he shine with the glory of God while Moses had to hide his face behind a veil? To the imam who claims Jesus was only a prophet, why then does the Quran admit he was born of a virgin, sinless, raised the dead, and will return again, but still refuse to acknowledge what the Gospels shout, that he is divine? To the priest clinging to tradition, are you listening to the one who shines with the light of heaven, or to men who merely reflect fragments of it? Here's the reality. Moses' glory faded. Jesus' glory endures. Moses wore a veil to shield the people from the brilliance. Jesus tore the veil to reveal the full power of God's presence. And Paul, in 2 Corinthians 3:13-18, confirms it. He says the glory of Moses was temporary, but the glory of Christ is eternal, transforming all who believe into his image from glory to glory. This isn't metaphor. This is majesty. The disciples didn't hallucinate. They didn't exaggerate. They fell on their faces in fear. Because when you see the true glory of Jesus Christ, casual opinions vanish, theories melt away, and all that remains is trembling worship. Jesus isn't another Moses. He is greater, brighter, eternal. He doesn't borrow light. He is the light of the world. John 8:12. And just as he shone on the mountain, he will return in flaming fire, with power and great glory, shining brighter than 10,000 suns. And when that day comes, will you stand in his light or hide from his face? Because if Moses made men tremble by mere reflection, how much more will you tremble before the face of the risen Christ? You can deny it now, but you won't when you see his glory, because Jesus' face still shines, and unlike Moses, he'll never come down from that mountain.